So now that we've talked about lists, what I'm going to move to is actually the accessibility checker, because I want some issues still there so that we can see how cool it is and how effective the accessibility checker is telling us what's wrong and how we can fix it, because it has some amazing tips in there. So to get to the accessibility checker for any document, I'm going to go to the top here of the document. I'm going to go to the File tab, and from here I'm going to click Check for Issues, and in the drop down I'm going to click Check Accessibility. What that does is on the right hand side it brings up this accessibility checker results, and you'll see here it's got a section on errors and a section on warnings. So it says we've got alt text missing on pictures, the table even. We've got no header row specified for a table, and in the warning it says, hey, you've got 4 repeated characters. You'll need to check that out because we don't really know how to interpret that. So let's start with alt text next on our list. So let's go to picture 3. So if I just click on it, it will jump right to it, and that's in the accessibility checkers. The other thing that I love about the accessibility checker is it'll tell you why it's an issue, and it'll tell you exactly how to fix it. So it says right click the object, click format, click size and properties, expand the alt text selection, and then type in a description. So that's exactly what we are going to do. I'm going to right click, do format picture. On the right hand side you want to click layout and properties, go to alt text, and then in here in the description box I'm going to type in my description. So I'm going to say scientific drawing of various tree components. I think that'll suffice for now. As I'm proofreading this one, I might want to double check that image description, but for now we'll just leave it at that. Alright, so we've got that, and I'm going to close it, and what we can see with the accessibility checker on, that's disappeared. It said, oh, you fixed that, so it automatically knows that we fixed it and we can jump to the next issue. And we're still under alt text. Tables do need alt text sometimes, especially with more difficult tables. In Word, what you want is your tables to be, basically you only want to have 1 row of column headings and 1 column of row headings at most. So here we just have column headings and it's just 1 row. Basically, if you ever have a table where you have split or merged cells, you might need to go back and fix it. So I'm going to go to this here, and it says right click the table and choose properties, switch to the alt text tab, and then type in the description. So let's go ahead and do that. Table properties, alt text. I'm going to type in the description. I'm going to say age table with only column headings, excuse me. I'm going to click OK, and we see that that has disappeared. Alright, so now, even though we were fixing a table, we were actually fixing the alternative text for a table. Alright, so now we're going to officially move to the table issue. I just told you about tables and sort of how to look for if they look accessible in the first place, and we've decided this looks accessible, but we see over here it says no header row specified. So this is really important. You want a header row specified. It works with assistive technology. I'm gonna just basically follow the instructions in the accessibility checker. So it says select the table and highlight the top header rows. Then I'm going to go to Table Tools, Layout tab. I'm going to click Repeat Header Rows, and then I should be done. So if I just click this, notice it actually automatically selects that top header row for me. And then I'm going to go to Layout, and let's see, it says to go to the data group. So over here, and there it is, repeat header rows. So I click that, and the failure to comply is gone. All right, so that brings us to our last issue, breaks. I wasn't sure if I should call this vertical space or what, but anyways, you'll see it's suspected that there might be something fishy going on with having 4 repeated characters. So let's see what it means. So it is talking specifically about the fact that we used the sort of carriage return repeatedly to make a new page. In fact, like, let's say I wanted this on a new page. Let's say I wanted it to start with this. See how difficult it would be to fix that, especially if this was a long document. I mean, it wouldn't be hard to fix here, but I'd have to fix everything below that every single time I did a page break that way. So let me just show you how to do a correct page break. What I like to do is turn on these, I think they're called formatting characters. And it's a little overwhelming at first, but you can see that we've got 1, 2, 3 repeating paragraphs here. If I go ahead and delete those, first of all, you'll see that it said that there were no accessibility issues left in the checker, so we're good with that. But we still have this issue where and I'm going to turn off the characters, we still have this issue where this section sort of starts awkwardly at the very end of the page here. So how do we fix this? What a page break does is it says, start this at the next page regardless of how much space is left. So I can do that by holding down Control and then Enter. All right, and if I do that, let's say I wanted to do that up here, it's going to auto adjust every other page break so that it actually starts at the beginning of each page. We'll never have that same issue where we just have a bunch of random blank space in the middle of a page. So that is a page break. A soft break, a soft return, is when you want to break something that's, you don't want to make a new paragraph, but something sort of oddly formatted. So let's say right here, let's say I wanted this to start on the next line just because I want the whole sentence to sort of be together. I can do Shift, Enter, and then we've got a soft return. So it's not a new paragraph, but it's just saying start this next word on the next line. Both of those I think will come in handy big time for all of you. And now we're done. So that didn't take much time at all. The more you get into it, the more you sort of do this as you're going along, the easier it gets. And honestly, it actually ends up speeding things up a whole bunch, especially if you're writing long documents. And when you have to go back and edit a document, it makes things just so much easier. The other dual benefit of this is we've now made a really versatile document. If I'm, let's say, making a document that I want to then put into Canvas or Cascade, a lot of these formatting options will still follow through. They'll transfer over. So this will likely still be a heading 2. The paragraphs will still be formatted correctly. You'll have your page structure. Typically, the images, you have to upload them separately when you're uploading them online, but you can always just copy and paste. You can copy and paste the alt text that you have already written out, so you don't have to go through the process of having to write all that out again. Anyways, I hope that this was helpful. Thanks for your time, and I hope you have a great rest of the day. Thanks.